Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Quarantine with Jonathan. Day 7, the halfway point, 50% milestone, big day. Yeah, you're probably wondering, am I wearing underpants on my head? The answer is yes and no. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, so if we're happy to leave that to one side, let's move on with today's episode. So, we're halfway through. I'm just joking. I'm going to tell you why I'm wearing pants on my head. 3 reasons. You can choose which one. First one, to remind me to talk about the underpants situation, which is in my notes, but I might still forget. Second reason, a kind of a desperate bid to drive up my viewing figures, reach out to that young crowd, you know, the Fortnite players and the Twitchers and all that kind of stuff. So kids love pants on the head, right? That's what I hear. What else? Why else could I be wearing pants on my head? Oh, well, just celebration, right? I don't have a party hat to put on, but I do have some pants. And the third reason, well, I'm just losing my marbles a little bit in here, and this is what happens when you're locked up for too long in a room. So you choose which one of those 3 options you like the best. Make your own story. But yeah, let's get to the main event. We are now halfway through this quarantine, this marathon quarantine, which is how I'm thinking of it now, especially at the halfway point. You know, it is starting to feel, not that I've ever run a marathon, big respect to anybody that has. Don't think it's ever anything I could actually manage myself, but I feel now, you know, I'm at the halfway point. What is that, like the 13-mile marker? And there's 2 ways it could go, really. And when you're running a long distance race and you're at halfway, you're either already tired and exhausted, and the thought of doing another one of what you've already done is just sort of soul crushing, or you're sort of going strong and you found your rhythm and you're feeling good, legs feel strong, and you're like, okay, I've got this. I'm gonna make it to the end, make it to the finish line. So which one of those cases applies to me? Well, I think I'm in the second camp, with some reservations. I do feel like I'm going strong. I have found my rhythm in here. I'm not obsessing over the time I have left as much as I was in the early days. Feels good to be able to say that now. The early days, you know, I'm in the mid stage now. The beginning is gone. I'm in the middle. But yeah, I'm not obsessing over how much time is left, and the time that is left, although it's still a lot, it's not as daunting as it was, you know, on day 2 when I was thinking 13 days left, you know, how am I going to manage this for 13 days? Now I know that I can. I will get through it with all my marbles intact, possibly, but, you know, pants on the head, so that could still go either way. But yes, I'm in a mood to celebrate, so I've got my beer. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank again anybody who's either brought me something while I've been in here, or anyone who's planning to or offered to, or even if, you know, you don't get around to it, it's fine. It's the thought that counts, and plus I have some beer now, so I'm in good shape. But thank you so much for doing that, especially, you know, the complete strangers. I don't know if they're watching this, probably not. They're not on my Facebook, so. But if they ever discover it, yeah, I really owe you guys. And it's a small act of kindness to do that for a stranger, but it makes such a big difference. Not just the physical thing, you know, having the beer, but the idea that someone's willing to do that for you is really nice. So again, thank you, everybody. That's really good. So yeah, 7 days. The other thing is 7 days is the marker where people who aren't in my particular category are actually getting out of quarantine after 7 days, so they will be getting released tomorrow. Those people are, the people who have somewhere to go after this, like a place in Taipei or close by where they can go and do the remainder of their quarantine at home. In isolation still, it's still quite strict. You still, really do have to stay put, and they will actually track you to make sure you are staying put. You can still get fined for leaving your house, that kind of thing. So it's not a complete get out of jail card. Yes, it was the sound of a beer opening. One moment. Don't put it there, I'll block the view. So those people will be getting out of the hotel sort of supervised quarantine, which I imagine is nice to go and do 7 days at home. After this will seem pretty sweet. Unfortunately, I'm not in that category because I don't have anywhere to stay in Taiwan. I have to travel back to my home in Penghu, so that's why I need to do the full 14 days in the hotel, just because I live in Penghu. There were people that had sort of mentioned that I actually could do the 7 days with them. It was originally an option, but I wasn't really comfortable taking them up on that, just because it's still a strict quarantine, and I felt that would put a bit of a burden on somebody else to be responsible for for giving me a place where I could properly isolate, with zero contact. And they'd also have to sort of wait on me, bring me meals and things, and then there's also potentially a risk for them to, if I had COVID, it to spread. So it wasn't a thing that I was comfortable asking anybody to do, or even accepting anyone's offer to do that. So I wanted to do it in the hotel, and then when I get out, I am basically free. I still have to do some self-management, or whatever they call it, but the quarantine is over once I get out of here. So but it's a little bit sad to think some people now, most people will be at the end of their journey now, whereas I'm only halfway through it. But like I said, going strong at the moment, and no real concerns. Little wire in the corner of the frame there. So 7 days, I've realized some things. I try to compare myself to the main character in The Martian throughout this experience. I'm not stranded on Mars, but I might as well be in this little room. And he makes video diaries, obviously, and goes through everything that he has to deal with. And one of the things he does as soon as he gets in, once he's in the situation, his crew have left him accidentally, and he realizes he's alone on Mars with no hope of rescue. Basically, the first thing he does is make an inventory of all his stuff he's got, and how to ration it out to last the whole period. So I didn't really do that, and I've realized two things. One, the amount of water they gave me, they said, we provide a box of 24 bottles of water, and at the time I was like, okay, great, that's enough. It's not enough. Like, obviously it's not enough. I probably drink 3 or 4 of those bottles a day. I drink quite a lot at night, even though I have other drinks. The fridge, I've got some pop, some Coke and that kind of stuff, but it's not enough to not nearly enough to last me until day 14. So that's a little bit annoying. I feel like bottled water is really, really cheap here. That whole box probably only cost a couple of hundred NT max, a few pounds, like a £5 or something. For the amount I'm paying, I really feel like they could have given me enough water to get me through to day 14. So I don't know if I have to ask for more and they will charge me for it, or if I have to just start ordering in bottled water from 7-Eleven or something, which I can do technically. It's not like I'm gonna die in here of thirst, but it's a little detail that I think the hotel could have thought about, give the person enough water to comfortably get through the stay. So that was one thing. And the other thing is I'd sort of assumed that I would be able to get my clothes laundered at some point, and that they would have some kind of service, even if it wasn't included, where they would I could, you know, leave my clothes in a bag outside and they could wash them for me and bring them back. Apparently that's not the case. I checked today, they're not going to wash anything for me. I suspect it's part of the quarantine rules rather than them being stingy about offering the service. I think perhaps nothing is actually allowed to leave the room apart from garbage. Things are allowed to come out and then back in again. I suppose it leaves more room for possible contamination, cross-infection within the hotel. So yeah, I understand why they wouldn't do that, but I hadn't really thought that they wouldn't do it, so didn't bring enough clothes definitely to get through. In particular, pants. Oh, these are clean, by the way. Don't if you've been grossed out for the last 10 minutes, then these are clean. I'll take them off. There you go. Relax. Pants are off. But yeah, I don't have enough to get through to the end, so we have 3 options there again. That's the theme of today, 3s. I can either just reuse the same pants, which doesn't really matter, I'm in here, no one's going to judge, right? Well, you guys can judge, but doesn't matter. Wear the same pants. Doesn't feel great though, I've been making an effort in here. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have been showering and changing my clothes and trying to feel clean and nice, within my environment. I feel like it's a bit of a slippery slope if I start re-wearing my pants, and before long I probably will just be in bed all day wallowing in my own filth and giving up on ever returning to society. Not that extreme obviously, but I would like to be able to have clean underwear every day. It's not too much to ask, right? So option 1 is reuse. Option 2, they've offered to give me washing powder and I can wash them myself, and that would be okay. I've got a sink, I could wash them myself, but the problem is in this room, it's really, really humid. So much so that my towel that I used to dry off after a shower, I hang it up and the next day it's still wet when I go to use it again. So if I washed clothes, it would be pretty difficult to get them dry. Guess I could do it with the hairdryer. Yeah, I mean that's my option, I guess. Wash my pants and dry with the hairdryer. So I can do that. Or third option, I can buy more and try and find somewhere that will deliver pants. I don't know if Uber Eats have that service yet, but I'm sure I can figure it out. I think possibly 7-Eleven have disposable pants. Yeah, disposable pants. I'm not sure how I feel about that actually. Paper, are they going to be made from paper? Is that going to be a bit scratchy? Or is it just cotton that you throw away? I don't know. If you know, let me know. What are disposable pants? Let me know in the comments below. Always wanted to say that. You guys aren't leaving me many comments, by the way. I know some people are watching. No one's commenting, so leave me some comments, Let me know what you think of my ramblings. But yes, 3 options for pants. Reuse, wash, buy more. So which one should I do? Yeah, so apart from those 2 minor concerns about the water and the clothes, everything else to get through the next 7 days is fine. Beer supply is now quite steady. I have a couple more beer deliveries actually lined up. I've had to sort of ask people to hold off. I don't want to get too much at once, and then the hotel gets suspicious, or I mean not suspicious, just get a bit fed up with delivering beer to me, and I don't want to push my luck with them, so try to space it out, not get too many deliveries on one day. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on the milestone front. I just noticed I didn't tick off my my chart last night, so let's do that now. Day 6 done. Day 7. on the way. Nearly time to tick it off. Not quite yet, but we're getting there. I also did my second PCR test today in the room with the lateral flow. Swab up the nose and the drops on the what's it. Don't have COVID, still negative. Which, you know, at that stage you're like, okay, we can be pretty sure I don't have COVID now, right? You know, I've had, you know, again, the test before I got on the plane, the test after I got off the plane, the test on day 3, and now the test on day 7. You know, when you have that many negative tests in your favor, doing more quarantine does feel a little bit pointless. But, you know, again, no point dwelling on that or complaining about that. It is what it is. We will persevere and we'll keep going. And like I said, yeah, I am finding my rhythm in here. I'm doing things, I'm spending my time I feel quite purposefully. I'm actually not like playing as many games and watching as much Netflix as I thought I would. You know, there are other things that I would rather do a lot of the time, where I feel a little bit more productive. So I've you know, been working on my chess. I had another chess lesson this morning with my coach Andrea, which was great. I had a couple of nice wins. I'm still at my my peak rating, and that's going well. So I'd rather sort of study that and play some chess than just play video games, I guess. But it's still nice to have the switch when I'm just ready to completely sort of switch off a little bit, switch off, switch on, veg out, that kind of stuff. It's good to have. The VR is really nice. You know, again, found myself going back to the table tennis. There's actually like a little championship that you can work your way through, a little competition where you play various robots and they gradually increase in difficulty, and I'm actually the furthest I've ever been, so I'm winning some table tennis games against quite high rated robots, which is fun. And if you never played this game, it's called Racket Fury on Oculus Quest. It is a really, really good simulator of table tennis. Like I play a bit of table tennis now and again. Not particularly good, but I'm not, terrible. And it feels almost exactly the same, apart from the fact you don't actually have the weight of the the paddle in your hand. The actual action of it, the actual motion, how it feels, the physics, you play a shot as though you would play it really, and it works, well, when you've hit it too hard, when you've messed a shot up and it's going to hit the net. And you can play as though you're really playing table tennis. It's really, really good. So, if you have a VR and you don't have Racket Fury or I think the other one, 11 Tennis 11, something like that. The other table tennis game on Switch, I hear, also is very good. It's one of the best uses of the technology actually that I've experienced so far. Also playing Super Hot, which is a really, really fun VR game. The Tai Chi, a few things there that have kept me entertained. So entertained and exercised at the same time. So that's again 2 birds with 1 stone, which is really nice. And the workouts actually as well have been going really well, and I've been really enjoying them actually. I've been doing more cardio and abs and things than I usually do. Also more mobility exercises and stretches. So I found a really good 30-minute workout. It's about 35 minutes actually, but they call it 30-minute cardio and abs workout. I think I mentioned it in a previous video from HasFit. I'll leave a link to that in the comments as well, just because it's in the description, below. Just because they're free and they're really, really good, especially if you haven't worked out for a while and you haven't exercised for a while, like serious exercise, and you want to get back into shape without really, hurting yourself or tiring yourself out too much. It's a really good, you've done a workout, but you're not absolutely exhausted after it. If you're looking for something to get back into exercise again, and you've got about 30 minutes a day, I really recommend you check out this HasFit video in the description. I think I'm about to hit 20 minutes, so I may be about to get cut off. No, it's gone over 20 minutes, so we're still good. Okay. Great. Didn't want to have to make 2 videos again. So yeah, that's workouts are keeping me sane and keeping me feeling fit, and not just that, but because I'm a little bit out of shape and I haven't exercised much recently, so I'm getting like a running start back into a full exercise regime that I can do when I go to Pongwu. So when I'm back home and I start, it won't be starting from absolutely zero, that initial phase of being like, oh god, I'm so unfit, I can't do anything. I should be able to build up to a little bit of fitness in order to start a full workout regime when I get back. So that's a positive thing that this is allowing me to do. Yeah, lots of positives really. So as I say, I'm doing well. I'm not too worried about the next 7 days, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not getting cocky by any means, because sometimes the second half of something can be tougher than the first half. The first half, the initial first 2 or 3 days, that was, I was in a bit of a limbo state for a while where it was all sort of new and a little bit fun to be in my bunker and be figuring everything out. So I sort of got through the first 2 days in that mindset, and now I have a sort of a full 7 days to continue doing what I'm doing, and hopefully not run out of things to do, not get too much cabin fever in here. Obviously I've been without any natural light or sunshine for quite a while now. I don't know what effect that has, in terms of vitamin D, or other effects on your body of not getting that natural light. Perhaps it's not enough to make an impact. It's not enough time to really impact on your health. But I'm not sure about that. So perhaps I will start to feel the effects of that a little bit more in the second 7 days. Certainly it will get harder and harder to keep looking outside and not be able to go out, but yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm up to the challenge, and gonna try and get on with things and enjoy the rest of the time as much as I can before getting closer and closer to the release date. I guess that will also energize me, and I'll have more things to be excited about each day. Each day is a step closer, and soon I'll be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully, and that will get me through the final few days. So there we go. That's pretty much all I've got to talk about today. I will wish you well, and hope that if you have any comments or questions or suggestions or anything, feel free to leave a comment or send me a message. Oh, there was one more thing. I thought a nice idea to help me in this next stage might be if anybody wanted to have a drink with me, like a virtual drink, have a beer with me or have a coffee, something like that. Let me know, and I'll try and schedule in a few sort of dates, as it were, just hangouts. It could just be one person, or it could be a few people if there were people interested. That would be kind of fun and kind of nice, to have a virtual beer with somebody or some people. Yeah, don't worry, you don't have to entertain me or be interesting or funny. Just literally just so I'm not drinking alone for a little while. Just a beer, just a few sips of beer even would be cool, just to see some faces and maybe have some chats, that sort of thing. So yeah, if anybody is up for that, let me know. Again, send me a message, leave a comment, whatever, yeah, that might be a nice thing. So with that, I'll say bye and see you again tomorrow. Bye everybody.